You can't keep getting away with it!
I'm sad dogging you. Hey, listen up, everyone. I'm extremely sad. Please don't sexually assault me. I'm already too sad.
The Broncos blew their chance on Sunday to make it to the Super Bowl.
You heard for every one of those players in that locker room. You don't know how a game's going to unfold and then how it began to unfold. We didn't score enough points offensively or capitalize on that field position.
I made a video last week talking about how the Broncos had a chance to beat the Patriots this week, and no one should have been surprised if the Broncos ended up pulling it off. And I feel like I was partially correct in that video. The Broncos did have multiple chances to tie and win the game, chances that they didn't capitalize on, and at the end of the day, that ended up costing them big time. And they ended up losing the game 10-7 against the New England Patriots, who now will advance to the Super Bowl to get absolutely pounded by the Seattle Seahawks. Unless they turn something around offensively, I don't see why that's not the outcome. I'm still going to argue in this video that the Broncos should have won the game, even with Jarrett Stidham, who I was wrong about. That guy is definitely not a starter in the NFL. He is definitely backup material. I don't know who's more to blame on the Broncos' loss. Is it more on Sean Payton's play calling, or is it more on Jarrett Stidham for his lack of execution? And he also panicked on the lateral backwards that led to the only Patriots touchdown in the game, where they started with the ball at the 12-yard line.
I feel 10 feet tall right now and strong as an ox.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Hey, who the fuck are you? Huh? Who the fuck are you? Okay, I like it.
There's a lot to point out in this game that did not go well for the Broncos, but when you really break it down, it becomes even more frustrating to think about that they should have actually won the game even with their backup.
Started so well for you guys, and it kind of flipped on that 4th and 1 at their 14. You pass up the 3 points, and just tell why you think that was such a big momentum change there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought really that I felt like the first half we really moved the ball pretty well at times, and you get an opportunity, 4th and 1, and convert and try to go up 14 if you can. I mean, that's didn't work out on that one play, and that's just football.
Their defense played absolutely phenomenal in this game. They got 5 sacks in the game on Drake May, 1 by Zach Allen, 1 by Jonathan Cooper, 1.5 by DJ Jones, a half a sack by Roach, and 1 by Quandarius Robinson. Drake May only threw for 86 passing yards. He went 10 of 21 for 86 passing yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, was sacked 5 times, and had a quarterback rating of 58.8 for the game. And you still couldn't beat them.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Jarrett Stidham, on the other hand, went 17 of 31 for 133 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, was sacked 3 times, and had a QBR that was better than Drake May at 63. The Broncos had a chance early in the game to go up 10-0 before the storm rolled in, but just like's been happening all season long, aggressive coaches are losing their team's seasons and getting their teams eliminated from the playoffs when it matters most by being very aggressive and then having it backfire. Sean Payton, in a situation where he should have been able to kick a short field goal, decided to go for it on 4th down, ended up having a turnover on downs. Instead of being up 10-0 before the bad weather rolled in, you end up still being up only 7-0. That 3 points ended up being huge in the final outcome in this game.
Sean, you mentioned the field goal. What was the decision making on the 4th and 1 early in the second quarter to go for it?
Yeah, I just felt like, man, we had momentum. Get up 14, I felt like we had a good call. Let's be aggressive. To get up 14, I was just watching the way our defense was playing. It was a hard-fought game, and we didn't do it enough.
Another factor that absolutely derailed the Broncos' chances in this game is the play calling after the second drive that was explosive and phenomenal. At the beginning of the game, the Broncos were getting Mims involved. They were getting Cortland Sutton involved. They were running fun, unique play options that got people open, and Jarrett Stidham was hitting his targets. Sean Payton before the game said that Stidham was going to be able to sling the football, but after that touchdown, the Broncos fell off. I don't want any more bubble screens. I don't want any more runs up the middle. What happened on that second drive that you then just went away from the rest of the game? I know that sometimes defenses will adjust, but based on how that defense looked on that second Broncos drive, there was no way they were going to be able to fully stop you and hold you to 0 points the rest of the game if you kept that aggressiveness up. And I don't mean aggressiveness like not going for points when you need to go for points. Take the dang 3 points and go up 10-0 when your defense is completely shutting down the Patriots. Also, you think if you're the home team, you'd maybe have looked at the weather report and know that there there's a winter storm headed to your area that's probably going to hit somewhere in the second half. So every point before that winter storm hits is a big deal. But Sean Payton's like, nah, we don't need the points right now. We'll get them later. Well, that didn't happen because later, Lutz finally got his 2 opportunities to kick field goals. The bummer was that those opportunities came once the winter weather had already hit.
Well, this sucks.
With the wind whipping around and the visibility next to nothing with the snow coming down and covering the field in white, so much to the point that you couldn't even see the yard line markers, the ability for Lutz to kick the field goals and actually make it was almost next to zero. It did look like he was about to nail the second one, but someone got their pesky little grubby fingers on it and made sure that didn't happen. Shouldn't have been a big deal. If he drilled that second field goal, it would have made it 10-10, or if we had taken the points in the first half, it would have made it 13-10 and the Broncos would be playing the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Why play an entire season of football if you're going to cost your team because you just didn't want to do fundamental basic football and take the points? Also, if I were to have seen another bubble screen in that game, I would have probably lost it. It didn't work the first 10 times. Call a different play. The Broncos defense was playing absolutely on fire in this game. They held the Patriots to 65 total passing yards. They held the Patriots to 141 rushing yards, which is still more than they were allowing on average in the regular season as the #1 rushing defense. I wonder who got all of those rushing yards. What really pisses me off though is the fact that Drake May got 65 of those rushing yards on 10 attempts. Put a spy on Drake May. He's not Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray. I know he's a little bit faster than your average quarterback, but my goodness, the amount of times that the Broncos defense were stopping the run and stopping the pass and had everything locked down, but then there was a wide open path for Drake May to run for 10 to 20 yards was absolutely appalling in this game. And after it happened 2 or 3 times earlier, the Broncos let that beat them again, because every single time that it would happen, the Broncos wouldn't adjust and put Singleton or Ufanga on May and make sure that someone was spying him on every single play. I mean, heck, other than what I've already talked about, that might be the most deciding factor of this game, is that you kept letting Drake May get first downs. I mean, the Patriots held the ball for the entire third quarter. I think the Broncos had 6 total plays in the entirety of the third quarter. 2 3-and-outs is all they did. But the lack of adjustments from this coaching staff in this game were just nauseating. The only Patriots touchdown came on a drive where they started with the ball at the 12-yard line. And to be fair to everybody, it should have been a defensive touchdown on the lateral backwards, one of 2 push passes he attempted in the game that looked terrible. It should have been a defensive touchdown and immediately been the Broncos' ball again, and it should have been a 7-7 game. The game came down to 1 or 2 Jarrett Stidham mistakes, because without that fumble and that 12-yard drive by the Patriots, the Broncos probably win this game 7-3 and probably the most boring playoff game of all time. But the Broncos, even with the backup today, could have and probably should have still beaten the Patriots in that game. I'm not saying they were going to win the Super Bowl. Heck, I'm pretty certain that no matter who won this game, the winner of the NFC Championship was going to beat them down regardless. Turns out that that's the Seahawks now. Maybe this time, if it goes to the 1-yard line, Seahawks, you should hand the ball off to your running back. The MVP of this game for the Denver Broncos is by far and away Jeremy Crenshaw, who no matter how bad the conditions got, continually kept pinning the Patriots back, putting them in position where the Broncos offense could potentially win the field position battle because the defense kept getting off the field, and maybe get a field goal, something to scrap it into overtime, and if they had taken the points, maybe actually have won the game. But no, Crenshaw is the Broncos player of this game by far and away. The Broncos also, once again, their biggest need on offense in my opinion is running back and wide receiver. They once again couldn't get the running game going, and their leading rusher was RJ Harvey with 37 total yards. The next running back on that list was McLaughlin, who had 11 yards rushing. You guys gotta find yourself a running back that is going to be the real deal. Dobbins being out was a crusher for this team because they only had one running back who's actually legitimately good, and that's the one that wasn't playing in this game. Props to the Patriots defense. They completely shut down Denver after that touchdown and made sure they did nothing the rest of the game. But I think this game ended up being more of a situation where the Broncos lost themselves the game rather than the Patriots earning the victory. You had one job, Denver: keep the evil dynasty from reigning again. And now they have a potential to win another Super Bowl, but regardless, they're the AFC champions yet again. Regardless, it's been a very frustrating 24 hours for me, as the Broncos are my favorite AFC team. My whole family loved the Broncos. Our watch party was so sad after the game was over that everybody split off and nobody even wanted to eat dinner together. So I was able to actually stream the NFC Championship game. I guess things ended up actually working out in the long run for my channel because I was able to get 20 more watch hours on that live stream, putting us at less than 180 watch hours that we need to get fully monetized on this channel. So if you've made it to this point in the video, you are a rock star. If the Broncos had Bo Nix, they'd be in the Super Bowl right now, and I would still be correct in my pick that the Broncos were going to be playing the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I totally nailed it from the division round all the way to this point. If Bo Nix's ankle had held up, it would have been Broncos, Seahawks in the Super Bowl, just like I had predicted in the divisional round, and I'm pretty sure the Broncos would have had a really good chance of winning. I'm not saying they would have beaten the Seahawks, but they would have had a really good chance of winning. But no, we get a Patriots-Seahawks 2014 Super Bowl rematch. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of the game that was definitely one of the games of all time in the comments down below. Liking and subscribing is completely free, so please join the channel. And I'll see you very soon in the next video where we will break down the NFC Championship game. Until then, Broncos fans, everyone's gonna have to wait till next season to see if the team can get back to this point. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.